Cool. Might be weird. But yeah, no, Flurry would probably have been better because then you don't have any negatives at all. And you get like 3 hits, basically. So it's like, oh, would probably have been better. Because I thought that the negative would be cancelled out and it would just be normal hits. Which it might be, but it might be that it would have been better if there was a positive to it. Or actually just the critical strike would have been better as well, because then it gives you minus to defense than to hit upon the attacks. But it makes it easier to crit, so... yeah. But, well, it's not gonna matter too much later on anyways. I could potentially also, in terms of feats, just go for what's it called? The flurry. Anyways, so, you know. It's not a big deal. We need to go in here. See, oh, look at dude. Oh. Just walks past Kinraths. That is not something we care about. We just need to be here for like a few
Prepare yourself.
minutes.
You asked for it.
Oh, I mean, I missed with that one normally, anyways.
This will teach you.
That's, you know. Let's frag grenade at this dude. Come at me. Fight me, bitch. Alright, fine, I'll shock you to death. Alright, well, you're dead. There we go. All we need is check. Wait, what? Isn't it here? Like, oh, do I need to fucking talk to this dude? I need to talk to him first? No. Or is it a different area? Oh, maybe. Well, we'll talk to this guy first. I don't think this game works like that it just spawns the thing you need, but... anyway. Thought it was right at the entrance. Don't remember that, but... maybe I didn't, or maybe I did, and you just need to speak to this guy first. Yo, dude.
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out here anyway. This is Kinrath territory.
What are you doing out here?
A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Kunda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened.
Why are you looking into it?
I'm one of the Kunda militia. They need all the able bodies they can get. I was a Republic custom inspector before I came back home. Now I'm the closest thing the militia's got to an investigator.
You suspect foul play?
I do. The Kinrath are dangerous. But as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors.
But Dantooine is temperate. There is no need for atmospheric sensors except for seasonal data collection.
Huh? It's just important we get it back. They're expensive pieces of equipment, and we can't afford to replace them. Regardless, I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something.
Depends on what it is.
I doubt you'll be able to find any evidence of what happened here. But you might come across the atmospheric sensors. They have to be somewhere. If you find any of them, just come back here. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you can find, even if they're broken.
I'll see what I can do. Alright. So let's see if they are at the entrance or if I'm just bad and they were actually further in. But they're in there. Those sensors, they're in that cave. Those are the ones that we're going to get. Because they are important. Yeah, no. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, you need to speak to him first. Find this and we find them. Oh, look at
I
that.
don't know about that.
You don't know about what? The sensors?
They are vitally important pieces of equipment on tectonically or environmentally unstable regions. But do you really need atmospheric sensors on Dantooine?
Can you examine one of the sensors?
I'll have this open in no time. Child's play.
Hidden surveillance device. No wonder why you want it so badly. Good work. And by doing that, he gets some influence. Now, the second piece of influence for him comes up when we talk to this guy again. Oh wait a minute, I forgot. I have this. I just fucking speed past this fucking field and get to him faster. Hello again.
I don't suppose you found...
Actually, I found 3 of them.
That's great news. My offer still stands. I'll pay you 3,000 credits for all of them.
Not so fast. We found a little surprise inside them.
I was afraid of that. So, how do we do this, then?
Why is there surveillance equipment in the sensors?
We were picking up off-world transmissions between the mercenaries and... someone, we don't know who. We know that the mercs are up to something, we just don't know what. We set those atmospheric sensors up to gather information. Now you know why we need those sensors. I'll pay you 5,000 credits for all 3 of them. That's about all we can afford. You make money and help us out at the same time. What do you say?
You need the credits more than me. Call it 3,000 credits. That is important. Go for the stunt for the beginning price.
Yeah, that's admirable of you. Thank you. I'll get this back to Zeron when I get back to Kunda.
That was a kind act. It is good to see that one can still show compassion, even after the war.
It was a minor thing, nothing more. If I can give assistance, I will.
And that is why I follow you, General. Lead on.
Now he gained more influence. Now! He has actually at a slight higher light level than us. Which is interesting to see. At this point, I believe he is ready. I'm pretty sure, generally, of when I've played, this is the point where he's ready.
You know, I'm glad I found you again, General.
What are you talking about?
We were together at Malachor. I don't know if anyone else could understand.
So, why are you here?
Getting philosophical on me? I'm here because you found me on Telos and I decided to come along for the ride. Not that I had much choice after we got going.
I mean, why are you still here? Why are you still here?
I was frustrated. Watching the Ithorians getting pushed around by Zerka, I thought I could make a difference, but it was taken away from me. Guess if one planet was good enough for me, why not the galaxy?
Sometimes there are things that can't be fixed.
You just have to know what the circuits look like.
If you see them, let me know.
I'll be sure to do that, General. Was there something you wanted me for?
Aren't you? Hold on.
Having you here has an effect on
Here
me,
we go.
General. I never noticed it years ago. I think my mind was too occupied then.
He had a piece of dialogue before this. I think this is the one. What do you mean?
I feel calm, more in control. The anger is still there, but I can feel it drifting away. The last years of my life have been defined by it. The Mandalorians, Zerka, and Revan. And above all else, myself, for Malachor.
What about me for giving the order?
Never, General. It had to be done. My hands destroyed the Mandalorians. I cannot be forgiven for that.
That's a name. Interesting, okay. But you can. What you did was necessary, as was what I did.
Even if I did it out of hatred of the Mandalorians?
The Mandalorians were defeated, and the Republic saved.
That might be the truth, but I don't want to see it that way. I can't just ignore the blood on my hands.
too stubborn. There is no blood on your hands, just the blood your guilt forced you to imagine.
Even if there isn't, I still feel like I need to do something to make up for it.
Here we go. If you will let me teach you, the Force can become your shield. I believe you can learn to become a Jedi.
Under your guidance, I feel like I could overcome my anger.
Then we have no time to waste. Vader has now become a Jedi Guardian.
Yeah?
This is the price that you get for when you complete a character. When you've gotten enough influence with them, you can make them into a Jedi. And that is the goal for all of them. All of them are able to, that is. So, your strength, because that's what you're using. Skills. Oh yes, please do that, because he needs that dearly. And then we give him something. Fucked, man, he's not great in terms of just anything. Give him flurry, because, man. And he can use force powers. The thing is with Vader, he's a garbage Jedi, because Jedi generally want to have those robes on them. Or, you know, armors that don't restrict the force powers. For example, he can't really use lightning because it's restricted by armor. Which is really the major reason why I don't use him, because he can't use fucking force storm at the end. That's kind of why, because that's such an important move to have. That it's like, no, you're not being used because you can't use it, because you're not allowed to use robes because of his arm, for example. And so but we can give him some things. He also can't do some buffing moves. He can still use heal. That is the thing. But he's a guardian, so that's gonna eat up all the force he has. And so he wants to learn things that are more like complementary things, like stun potentially. Stun is a good move. Stasis is a good move to learn. Or stasis field, except he can't use stasis field, right? Because he can only use stasis. He could just destroy droid. Otherwise, he can use. They can always use like the force push once, or this one, which is not actually the greatest ability line. These two. Force whirlwind. I'm gonna give him that for now, which helps him. Now away with you. And again, these two are gonna be my team for the time being. Basically, what we want now is to return to the ship, because we're done here. Now we're going onwards to Nar Shaddaa, which holds importance to Aten. And, well, actually, to Handmaiden as well. Which is gonna be interesting. But we're gonna focus on Aten first. Because you can always get Handmaiden on other places. But there's several reasons why I picked Nar Shaddaa first. Nar Shaddaa is because we can finish Aten's influence and his side story first. Or quickly doing that. And also because... Oh. Now? Okay. Sure. I didn't know you would pop up now. Thought there was the cutscene first, but no. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Hello. I'm not sure why this is a question, because they're not actually gone, you can see them, but who are you? Yeah, so yeah. This is Visas. Let's see if I can take her down. Force shield. Night speed. Force valor. Foul meditation, heal me up, fucking whack her with my sword. See if I can stun her. She saved that one. She has fairly high wisdom, so she's gonna save it kind of easily. Oh, there we go. Oh wow, T3 just comes along and just... Yeah, nope, that wasn't needed, T3, but...
My lightsaber.
I appreciate it.
You've destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours.
You pledged yourself to me?
I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Okay.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy.
That's a Miraluka.
Yeah, they're a pretty secretive race. I heard that some of their kind become Jedi, but a Sith? That's a new one. I'm not sure how you'd go about killing one. It'd be tricky.
Killing one?
Just mentioning it, she looks like she's suffered enough wounds already, even after the beating you gave her.
Is their kind rare?
I heard they had a colony on the Mid-Rim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left alive. No one knows why.
Maybe she knows.
Well, it was a planet of her people. If they see through the Force, who knows? If they're all Force sensitive, maybe they all saw something through the Force that we can't see, and they left before it happened. Or maybe it killed them.
See through the Force?
They claim to see on a higher plane than we do. You know, the whole Force thing makes me nervous.
You gonna be alright?
Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
If your condition changes, let me know. Okay, no. Let me know when she awakens. I have questions for her.
She is a threat to us.
Okay, so here's the deal. You kind of have to choose here, because Handmaiden doesn't really like her. And so if you're showing compassion to Visas here, Handmaiden will be annoyed at you. I'm not sure if you gain not sure if you gain dark side points. I don't think you are. I'm not sure if you lose influence with her. That would be the worst though. Don't tell me if that's what she is useful. I do not mean to kill her yet. That seems like an evil point. Won't harm her if that's what you're asking. She is useful, and I do not mean to kill her yet. Sure, we'll do that.
I am not asking that she be harmed or interrogated, but she is of the Sith, and...
Okay, fine, whatever. Okay, apparently I lost influence with her anyways. Well, I don't know how that works, but okay. I'm sorry, what? Oh my god. Sure, okay, I'm not sure how I gained... How I... How? That makes no sense. I'll save this before the... fine, it doesn't matter.
Yes? I do not think you are...
Okay, fine. Fine, that's whatever. It doesn't matter, because... Visas, well, okay, well, she's, gray at the moment. Visas can be fucking, like, towards whatever you are, Visas changes direction, like, very easily. It just goes immediately.
My life for yours.
Alright.
I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you.
That's not what I asked. I asked if you were alright.
I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek.
Medbay, we noticed you have scars. Who hurt you?
The scars are many and the causes equally so. It is of no importance.
How did you find me?
I felt you. heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it.
Who sent you?
I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why.
I need to know where I can find your master.
You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready.
Ready?
If I bring you before my master untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter.
Well, if he's unfortunate, your master threatens more than just me. Sure,
I cannot,
whatever.
I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found.
If he is behind what has befallen the Jedi, then he must be
You
stopped.
will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready.
Why are you doing this for me?
There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so.
If your master has trouble detecting me, how are you able to do that?
There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force.
Where are your people in your world now?
It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction.
How did your master destroy a homeworld to kill such a scaling spot? I'm pretty sure that how was it destroyed? These are a bit interesting because these are relative to this one.
The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space. But nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it.
If you, oh yeah, right. I've seen similar acts of destruction at Malachor.
I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between Kotor and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact.
Your homeworld was destroyed, then how did you survive?
I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died. To see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world.
As if everything suddenly went silent.
I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of Kotor. And my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed.
You were the only survivor?
I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, and yet somehow I remained, my master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world, and there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own, and he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy, and I wished to die.
He made you see?
To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets, the mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them.
Why did your master show you this?
He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order.
I understand. It would have taken several Republic cruisers to destroy the surface of Kotor.
It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not, and my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it.
Why did your master destroy Kotor?
The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Kotor, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died, and there was no one left, only me.
He attacked it because the Jedi had gone there?
He cannot deny his hunger for long, and any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence.
Why did the Jedi meet on Kotor?
They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat.
Alright.
Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me?
Alright, well, we are going good, but otherwise I would probably go with this one, because it's more interesting. Actually, no, I'm gonna do that one.
I must warn you. If you weaken yourself for me, then it will kill you.
You have curious views for a Sith.
There is more to the Sith than simply rage or slaughter. There are many kinds of hate, and all of them have the call of the dark side in them. The galaxy is filled with many such evils, and rarely have I seen anything else.
What do you mean?
I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories. Or the planet itself.
Alright.
It is not a subject.
Never mind. Here we go.